is the greatest shooter in the history of basketball. Better than Reggie Miller, better than Ray Allen, better than Jason Terry as a shooter, better than his own mom, Steph Curry. Better.
Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining!
How did you handle the disappointment of those bigger schools not coming after you?
I used it as motivation that summer before my senior year in high school to just play my game, and you know, the right coach and the right college would come and make themselves known if they wanted me.
The NCAA tournament.
To Curry, left-hand corner, let's grab it off the line.
The star of the tournament whose legend continues to grow, Stephen Curry.
He averaged 32 points a game and
Going into the NBA, I'm too small, not athletic enough, can't play defense, not strong enough. I was nervous, obviously making that transition to me.
With the 7th pick in the 2009 NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry.
And so from there, you know, that's what I'm walking into as a bright-eyed 21-year-old rookie coming from an 1,800 student campus to the West Coast to the Bay Area. First NBA game, so excited to be here. It's like a dream come true for me. So, but those first 3 years was an opportunity for me to kind of lead. I didn't really have a voice, but I could lead by example because I knew every day that I was showing up to work and get better, and whether it was in front of people or my teammates saw or management saw, whatever, like I would try to be as consistent as possible with that. And that would set me up for when we figured out what our identity was and got a solid roster around that was already in place so that people could kind of just fall in line and follow that lead, and then great things would happen.
Take advantage of Curry. Size-wise, he knocks it away. Curry with a steal. His first NBA shot. On fire. Theodore screen. Jumper right through. Doesn't even need a screen. He can just take him off the dribble. Curry with jumper. Good. He doesn't need a screen there with much.
Yes, sir. What do you want your lasting legacy to be? A consistent player that made it to that all-star level. And, we win some championships. It's all about winning. That's why we play the game. So, a guy did it the right way and was very consistent every night he played and gave it his all. Appreciate it, Chris.
2010, Stephen finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting. But in the next 2 seasons, chronic right ankle problems would force him to miss 48 games and undergo 2 surgeries.
Every question I got was, how are your ankles? Are you going to be, that pseudo Grant Hill story, or will you have an injury?
It's hard to know what percentage he'll be back at.
Yes, injuries are frustrating in general, and to be obviously every team wants to be at full strength at the biggest moment of the season.
He's always injured, the rumors, everything. It's really tough. So it was good that he could be here around family to keep that encouragement while he was rehabbing. But again, he's a very competitive, determined kid. He wasn't going to let it stop him.
After 6 months of rehab, in November of 2012, Curry returned.
And that's with all due respect to old school basketball and Dell.
My passion for the game of basketball is a high level just because of the amount of work you put into it, what the game gives back to you, the joy that it brings not only to me but people around you. So just not taking the game for granted and really pushing to be the best player you can be and kind of living, eating, sleeping, breathing basketball 24/7. gotta do your work early so that once you catch the ball, all you have to do is just kind of jump and release, like you've done millions of times in the practice gym. And I feel like I can do whatever I want to do. And my rookie year, I played against LeBron for the first time, and he pulled me aside after the game was over, and he knew, like, he had been in the league for about 6 years, so he kind of known a little bit about trying to build an identity in the league. And he told me, like, literally, all you have to worry about right now is kind of looking through a keyhole and worrying about, what are you doing on a daily basis? What habits are you building that are going to set you up for success down the road when things line up? Are you going to keep this time productive because you're building the right habits and you're understanding exactly what type of player you want to be, and really having a big perspective about what it meant to be a Warrior and what it meant to represent the Bay Area in the NBA, that I would be ready to lead at that point. And so, invaluable, obviously, advice from him to kind of set it up, and then 6 years later, we're playing in the finals. So pretty crazy journey coming from humble beginnings, winning 20 games a year to where we ended up. On the positive or negative side, I don't listen to much of what anybody says about what we can or cannot do, or what I can do personally. So I don't know if that's stubbornness or ultimate self-confidence, or just the fact that I know, who I'm rolling with in that locker room. Like you said, nobody thought we'd be, 5 straight finals when this thing all started.
And how sweet it must be for those crazy loyal Bay Area fans. So much better in person too.
Honestly, I don't need anybody's validation or praise or them to hype me up as other people in the league. I know who I am, like I always say, and confident in my abilities, and appreciative of the stage that I get to play on alongside my teammates, especially these last 5 years. So whatever comes with that territory doesn't really bother me, whether I'm liked or disliked, or whether people respect my game or value for what it is. Doesn't really matter.
May 30th, Oakland. The Golden State Warriors' record-breaking season is on the line. They trail the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. Then, Steph Curry does this. Even more improbable, though, than the Warriors' comeback against the Thunder has been Steph Curry's journey to the highest level of the game. Before the 73 wins, before the back-to-back MVP awards, before he hit 402 three-pointers in the regular season.
Kid from Davidson, who most people, when they were watching me then, wouldn't have guessed this. So it's pretty special. Don't ever lose your confidence. It's obviously easier said than done. We all have dealt with that in some way, shape, or form, where you set a goal for yourself, and for whatever reason, there are roadblocks along the way. The biggest thing that I learned through my recruiting process and ended up at Davidson, where people were like, where the heck is Davidson College at? Like, they even have a basketball team. Why are you going there? You're the son of an NBA player. You should be going to the ACC, to this and that, and trying to tell you what your life is supposed to be like. There are no accidents in life to me. And the fact that I got rejected landed me right where I was supposed to be, and I wouldn't change that for anything. And even though I didn't see it at the time, I walked into that opportunity, and kind of the rest is history. Obviously, we're at the front and center of any NBA talk since for a while now. And people ask me all the time, like you said, even from my days at Davidson, like the underdog mentality was just a part of who I am as a player and my leadership style and things like that. Like, do you lose that when you start winning championships? And yeah, the narrative changes because you're expected to, and people are trying to knock you off. But at my core and like who I am, that's part of my DNA. So it's easy to tap back into it. I think that's the fuel that I always kind of lean into, for sure.
Subscribe.